Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alex Shapiro.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Sony's NAB2013 press conference. That opening video was more than just eye candy. It's a perfect example of the innovation that's driving our professional content creation. 4K is now a reality for motion picture and episodic production, and it's the future of home TV viewing. It's also one of the many topics we'll talk about today and at NAB, but it's far from the only topic. For those of you who are tweeting live from the event today, you can use our Twitter hashtag. We have a very diverse agenda today that clearly adds up to our theme, Beyond Definition. Every past NAB has been about new products or the latest technology, but we're moving past all that. In fact, this is the first NAB that I can recall, and I've been to quite a few. F65 is still the clear choice for the highest quality motion picture production. And since its introduction, the camera's been on the sets of dozens of movies, including one that hits the theaters in just a few days. Universal's Oblivion takes us into the future for a look at life on a very different planet Earth. Before the team joins us on stage, I'd like to remind you that we'll be showing you the trailer and some very exclusive footage that's been made available to us, and I have to ask that recording or photographing the screen while it's playing is not allowed. So here's a preview of the look that they wanted using the F65 camera. Describing it as very clean, very resolute, with a huge color gamut. But rather than me talk about it, let them tell you more. Now please welcome the movie's DP Academy Award winner, Claudio Miranda, ASC, and DIT, Alex Carr. I want to thank you both for coming today. The movie looks fantastic. I can't wait to see it in the theater. So Claudio, tell us why you chose the F65 for this movie.
We just love the way it looked. You know, it has a great kind of, for our science fiction movie, it had this great kind of, this look, it's very clean camera. The world on top of the Sky Tower really want to have this kind of very clean, just kind of beautiful look. And you could tell by looking at, there's a lot of scenes in here that I think really show off the capabilities of the camera. There's one, if you look at the library scene, there's a big shaft of light, which is on the trailer. You see he comes down in there, and basically when he gets beyond that light, 95% of the homework is done with that flashlight. And you know, that's a big testament. So it's a couple little bounce cards on his face a little bit, but that's just, you know, it's extreme kind of range that I get with this camera. When you also in explosions of what happens to highlights, this room, this whole set and the way we designed it, there's a ton of dynamic range which we actually go beyond even in explosions of what normal cameras can do. So it's very important that we capture it to see what the flames look like. I like the, there's a lot of things I do like about the camera. I like the mechanical shutter, and it's great. It's a big start. Great.
Thank you, Alex. The movie is very effects heavy. Can you tell us a little bit about the 8K raw workflow?
The workflow with the F65 is surprisingly very simple. It's no different than any of the other workflows that current cameras have. You don't need any special kind of equipment to work with the hardware, with the camera files. Just a current CPU with an average GPU will work just fine for real-time performance. So we would shoot the cards every day. We'd take them, detect the color. We'd make our LTOs, and occasionally we shot up to 6 to 9 terabytes per day, and it's quite a lot of data. But it's every kilobit is worth it for the quality of the F65. It's a very high resolution camera. The data size is nothing to be afraid of for the cost of the mechanical shutter with a 4K camera at that resolution. It's just it's a great package.
So Claudio, the shoot took place in a lot of different locations and different environments. How did it hold up?
I mean, there was also concern we were shooting in Iceland. So Iceland has one of the main locations that we're shooting at had a kind of mostly overcast sky, which is really bright, and then it had a really dark volcanic black sand. And it was something to really kind of be able to capture all the gradients in that sand and also have enough latitude to have gradients in the skies. And just even the little, there's like little kind of like sub-color in there too that you didn't even picture from my location pictures that I shot. But actually just really kind of, I got the little subtle colors of the little greens and the little latitude, and I think the extra color gamut really kind of helps to capture all that in the frame. We had some really challenging, difficult dynamic range shots, and I really felt that it worked really well for us.
I know you brought some exclusive footage from the movie, so can you tell us what we're going to see in this clip?
Oh, there's actually a very interesting part of the clip. There's a little bit of there's a candlelit scene you'll see in here too. Normally when I do a candlelit scene, and I've done it before, usually people are like pretty close and they're going to get an exposure, but these people are really far away, and you'll notice that candle is really driving all the homework of the scene. So it's a candlelit scene. People are sitting, probably about 10, maybe 8 foot apart, maybe further than this. And just amazing that one, there wasn't even a triple wick that I can get there, it was just a single wick. And it's doing a lot of the homework. And it's also, all that is being lit by 21 projectors too. And that exposure is very low, and that's achievable nowadays with all these sensitive cameras.
One of the other things that really helped out with the F65 is the remote control that we have over the camera. Over just an Ethernet cable, we're able to adjust ND filters, shutter, frame rate, all remotely and on the fly. So when you're at the end of the day, when you're losing light or you're up on a 75-foot crane and you need to make some adjustments, you don't need to come down while you're reframing. The operator can work while I work. So it's an amazing ability that we took full advantage of, and Claudio was.
We definitely take it on Tuesday at Tuesday, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Oblivion is just the latest motion picture released that was shot with the F-65. The F-65 has also been used for everything from music videos to documentaries and TV shows. In fact, Claudio Miranda leaves next week for New Zealand to work with director Garth Davis on a special 4K project for Sony. So very clearly, 4K is the future of cinematography. And through innovations like Sony's picture stitching technology, 4K is also changing sports broadcasting. By setting up 2 4K cameras to provide a horizontal 8K image of an entire playing surface, 4K picture stitching lets sports broadcasters build a complete production remotely using full HD cutaways. So there are many diverse applications for 4K, but no 2 productions are alike and no one camera meets all the needs. Enter the F55 and F5. These models deliver even more 4K choices, especially for television and commercial production. And since we began shipping the cameras in February, we've already delivered more than 2,000 units worldwide. Sony's new 4K cameras truly support our beyond definition theme. We're building new 4K production environments and workflows based upon open platform standards. For example, more than 31 manufacturers support Sony's XAVC video format, an open format for 4K and HD recording in both the professional and consumer markets. In addition, Sony is unveiling a new consumer-oriented XAVCS format that will support MP4 encoding in both 4K HD and proxy video. There are several TV series and pilots currently in production using these cameras. It's truly a new era, and 4K promises the next great leap in consumer entertainment. The tools that create 4K also create incredible HD and 2K. You've already seen the images that our 4K cameras can capture. And if you've been to the movies recently, it's a good bet you've seen our 4K projectors in action. There are about 15,000 installed worldwide. But ultimately, getting the content on the air requires solid 4K TV production workflows. and efficient distribution strategies. Sony Pictures Television is certainly doing its part to make this happen. And here to tell you more is Phil Squires.
Well, I'm up here today to share a little bit about what we've learned shooting 4K for television at Sony Pictures Television. It started out last fall when we learned that Sony was about to release the 84-inch 4K display, and it suddenly became apparent that 4K was really going to be something that we had to pay attention to and see what we could do in order to support this new format. As you know, some broadcasters are already talking about UHD. And so we started looking at opportunities within Sony Pictures Television to produce some of our programming. It started last fall with a half-hour show that we shot for NBC, 13 episodes, comedy shot on the F-65. From that experience, we decided to go forward with another show. Both of these shows were shot on the Sony lot, so it gave us the opportunity to spend a lot of time looking at the workflow and seeing what we could do to keep it very controllable and within the context of what we'd been used to shooting and working with in the HD world. I can say that the experience in general, you think of 4K, well, I can tell you that 4K is not 4 times more difficult to deal with than HD. In fact, what we found is generally our crews on the set are used to dealing with file-based production. They've had no real issues with taking up and shooting in 4K. So the second project we shot is a new show for Showtime. It's a 1-hour drama called Masters of Sex. It's based on the Masters and Johnson studies back in the 50s, and it is a period piece. We're about episode 8 in the context of 12 or 13, I believe. And that will be premiering next fall on Showtime. Both of those shows were shot on the F-65. And next up in February was a series, or the first show of a series that we expect to shoot for NBC, the new Michael J. Fox half-hour comedy show. They needed some footage in a first episode to use for upfronts and promo material. So this pilot was shot in New York, again using the F-65s, and the whole production went smoothly and straightforward. Next came pilot season. Starting in late February, we began production on pilots for next season. We've currently shot or are shooting 3 pilots in 4K. The first one was a combination operation or production with 2 F-65s and an F-55, the first time we'd used that camera. The F-55 was being used for handheld and Steadicam shots, and that show wrapped production with 8 days of shooting in late February, and I understand online conform and grading is happening this weekend. Next up were 2 1-hour dramas, one on the East Coast for, I believe it's NBC, and shot entirely with the F-55s, and a second production on the West Coast for Fox, shot again on the F-55s. So far, it's worked out very well. We're seeing the advantages of the resolution, the color depth, and the exposure latitude on these cameras, and we're finding that we're not having any real issues with keeping up with the data and the whole workflow. So Sony Pictures Television is hoping to shoot more shows in 4K in the future, primarily new shows that are going into production. I'll say this, we've had some interesting opportunities to experiment with 4K cameras, and specifically the F55 gave us an opportunity to try out the capability of that camera in dual recording. And for the production that's shooting in New York, we needed a way to have some of that footage be available for previewing or reviewing. So we set up a process whereby we capture both the 4K on the AXS cards that come with that camera, and simultaneously we recorded on the SBIS cards the MPEG-4 codec, MPEG-2 codec. And the AXS cards, the 4K files, were sent immediately to the West Coast for processing of dailies, and the SBIS cards were kept on set for the capability of reviewing and also to double check color CDL decisions that were made during shooting. So we found that there's some real advantages to this new camera beyond just the image and the resolution, and it's worked out very well for us. I think we're going to see more 4K projects at Sony Pictures Television next season. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. Education is also critical to any new technology's success, and 4K is no exception. More than 500 production professionals have been trained at our weekly seminars at the Sony Digital Motion Picture Center in Hollywood. And we're expanding our worldwide training efforts with new centers in Europe, China, and India. Next week, at the Tribeca Film Festival, Sony is a sponsor, and we're participating in several events, and our F55s and other professional gear will be used throughout many of their venues. Now, with all of this 4K content being shot, projected, and distributed, the next logical question is, where does it ultimately end up? Well, of course, if it ends up in the home. The home is the last leg of what Sony calls its 4K lens to living room story. And just as we did with HD, Sony supports every aspect of the 4K technology ecosystem, from the camera to the movie theater to the home theater. And we're lucky to have another Sony 4K expert on hand, the president of Sony Electronics, Phil Molyneux.
So thank you, Alec, and you're absolutely right. Only Sony offers a true end-to-end 4K experience. The most extensive line of 4K digital motion picture cameras, professional 4K monitors, a 4K home projector, and a full line of 4K capable home entertainment products like Blu-ray players and receivers. And now, 4K TVs. So we're not bragging when we say Sony owns 4K, just like we did with SD and then later HD. Our 84-inch ultra-high definition TV is simply gorgeous, and it redefines the home viewing experience, showing how Sony, once again, is beyond definition. But we didn't stop there. At CES just a few months ago, we announced two new models, the F55 and the 55-inch and the 65-inch TVs, and here they are. And aren't they stunning? And what's unique about our product is beautiful design, as you can see. But our speakers here, magnetic fluid speakers, project the audio out to the customer as opposed to the wall where it kills the sound. The color is outstanding using our triluminous displays, and the quality of the picture is just unbelievable. It's like looking through a window. These two new sets extend the 4K UHD experience into more living rooms at prices within reach of more consumers. Today, I'm thrilled to announce that the 55-inch set will cost $4,999, with its 65-inch companion priced at $6,999. Starting today, you can check out both of them for yourself at 6 select Sony stores, including the one just next door at Caesar's Palace. And you can place your orders online starting April 21st. But if you know anything about Sony, you know that the innovation never stops. Whilst on the professional side of our business, we continue to make incredible breakthroughs in 4K production and distribution. On the consumer side, the product teams, we have also been delivering some significant 4K innovation. So I'm always proud to say that Sony is a company of firsts. We have a tradition of being first, and we continue that with 4K. Our new 4K media player and video distribution service, both industry firsts, further demonstrate how Sony continues to lead in bringing the 4K entertainment experience to viewers. Customers who buy Sony's 4K ultra high definition TVs can also buy the 4K media player bundled with 10 feature films and video shorts in true 4K resolution for $699. Later this year, the player will be updated to support a video distribution service offering 4K titles from Sony Pictures Entertainment and other notable production houses. We are exceptionally serious about 4K and the benefit it brings to our customers and their entertainment experiences. And I am excited to be here at NAB, where that entertainment experience begins, enabled through our innovative professional products. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Phil. We're very happy that you could join us here today. In our global world, 4K is hardly limited to being a US trend. 4K production is being pushed to the limits around the world by Sony and our customers. In the UK headquarters, we're building one of the world's first multi-camera 4K trucks for telegenic. This state-of-the-art truck will be used starting this summer in different major events around the world. Now, 4K isn't the only technology that's changing the professional landscape. Beyond definition also means handling any type of content for any application. As a result, production technology at all levels is changing too. To tell you more, please welcome Sony's Teresa Alessa.
You're absolutely right. Sony's technology landscape is changing to meet our customers' needs. For example, Sony Media's backbone solutions are perfect for today's production environment. These comprehensive solutions are great for networks and small groups, as well as large enterprise-level operations. Media backbone technologies are also in areas beyond news production, including sports and education. And they're designed to work seamlessly with other technologies in and out of the newsroom. Like Sony's new very portable video journalism backpack, an all-in-one field system. More than 100 backpacks are in the field now at Washington State University, ESPN, and Gray Broadcasting, and we're just beginning. They're available in Sony stores across the United States as well. Now you no longer need a full production crew to gather the news, get it back to the station, and then Sony's media backbone receives the files, processes the news, and gets the material to air fast. Our next two guests are familiar with these solutions. Please welcome to the stage Jim Ocon from Gray and Philip Grossman of the Weather Channel. So thanks again for joining us today. Jim, tell me about your decision to adopt Sony's media backbone system in Gray.
This was a sea change, I think, for Gray Television in how we approached local news. I always like to say that we ask our producers to stare at many screens, serve many masters now. And for Gray Television, it really involved an overhaul of our culture and our thinking and how we brought content into the newsroom. So that's what started it out for us with great Sony I think we started the yellow legal pad at NAB about 4 or 5 years ago, but very, very, very pleased with the results.
That's great. Now, Phil, your plan is coming for the rollout of media backbone technology in the coming year. Give me a little bit of detail about why you decided to adopt the platform.
Certainly. At first, it was really the underlying technology, the enterprise service bus that really was what sold me. Firm believers in service-oriented architecture and what it can do for the various industries. And then, of course, Sony had to sell them to myself and my company as to why we should work with them. And they did a fantastic job of explaining their vision and where they're going with this media backbone product, and it's really in alignment with the way our firm, our company, and network has been saying we need to go. We have content coming in from every place imaginable. We have to be able to get into the system and out of the system. You know, it's got a time-sensitive nature. It's weather.
Sounds like efficiency is a big issue for you. Jim, on the efficiency subject, what are some of the media backbone features that help Gray become more efficient?
There are actually more than several I think I can really count, but I think it really boils down to something that we now call auto ingest, which is a way of bringing, you know, in the past you would go out and capture content, you would bring it into the station, and then you'd have to download it to an editor, to a computer, and then that file would have to get changed and then dragged around to different places around the building, if you will. The auto ingest eliminated, I counted 6 different steps that it took to bring that content in. And in the local news world, you know, content is now getting stale within seconds. It used to be hours and minutes, and now it's going out in seconds. So what you do with that and how you redistribute that is very important for us. So that relationship on the auto ingest side was very good. The other thing I'd like to say is there's something else. Again, I don't want to get too geeky here, but the live metadata tagging, what that means is that you're recording a very important event, and you don't have to stop the record. You can take that information, basically type it in, and that gets sent back out, all happening live. And I think that really differentiates the Sony backbone system with, I don't know of any other system that can do these 2 different things.
Phil, from rolling out media backbone, what business needs are you looking to address with our system versus what your current technology was offering?
Every business need. We have unfortunately, the way our network is structured around technology, it's very manually intensive, everything. And what the backbone allows me to do is effectively turn every other vendor into a service within our organization. So now I can route video coming in from 16 different locations to 17 different other locations for processing, for transcoding, to go to the editors, then on to air to broadcast or out to web or mobile. All that can be automated or semi-automated compared to today's model where most of it's very manually intensive.
That's great. Now, Jim's already a pro because he's installed this system. Can you give me any specific examples of how Backbone's helped Gray?
Sure, and you know, just for fun, I'm going to read an email that I was given Friday, and we've actually installed Backbone at our 3 Texas stations as sort of that starting point. And this is just real quick. This is from Bob Bunch, our general manager at Waco. He says, Jim, just wanted you to know that KWTX went live with the new Sony system yesterday at noon. We completed 9 newscasts without a hitch, and we were thrilled with the system. On the Sony side, the training and installation team was top-notch. The newsroom loves the new edit system, and most have taken to it very quickly. The rest just need a little practice and to form new workflow habits. There were 0 complaints voiced out of the room, which is unusual for news staffers to be so accepting of change. They tend to be a skeptical bunch. Several news staffers actually went out of their way to thank managers for acquiring such cutting-edge technology. So I don't know if that really answers your question, but I think at least it's a good setup. The fact that it works, our story counts go up, we're able to use the social mechanisms that we have in the industry to get this content out to other screens, other platforms. And I'm also, one of the things I'm going to be checking out here is I hear that Sony's going to be launching a sort of a cloud-based archive service. And if it's one request I get from all our news directors is, Jim, we need a way to have a good solid archive. We need to be able to share it across the cloud. We need to be able to have stations manipulate this content. So for me, that's the next step for Backbone, and I can't wait to see that part plug into some of the things we've already done.
I'll introduce you to Naomi right after the press. That's a perfect segue. So Phil, once you get your media backbone up and running, what do you expect the benefits to be to your workflow?
So we're constantly expanding into different platforms, web, mobile, and targeting revenue generation. We're heading towards 1 billion views, upwards of 4 billion views of video. We can't do it with our current technology. It's just impossible. And so that's one of the first things that the backbone is really going to be able to help us do is get the content in, get it processed, and get it out the other side as fast as possible. Again, weather happens, it's got a shelf life, and this will help us go from 35 minutes to get something in and out to down to 3-4 minutes to get something in and out, just double our velocity.
It's amazing, amazing. Jim, on the Sony video journalism backpack, you also adopted that we spoke about a moment ago. How's that helping you out?
We love it. The local news business, I mean, you're competing with everybody with the cell phone or YouTube or a lot of other platforms where live streaming video comes down. I like to analogize this in the past Gray Television. We've been sending some of our photographers out kind of like a gun with not too many bullets in it, not enough chambers are filled. In other words, we're saying, here's a portion of your workflow, come back and then trade and do this. With our capital needs we have across company, trying to come up with a system. I basically wanted to make sure that we have a full camera editing system in the hands of every one of our reporters. They put it under their pillow at night and they sleep with it. But the MOCOM, or what we call the Mobile Communications Backpack, was another sea change for Gray that in our case we took, in fact, for Teresa, with your help, we got a tablet together, a laptop for editing, the camera, everything but the kitchen sink, if you will, along with an instructional video for our folks. And the first station through the wall, as I like to say, loves it. We are aggressively deploying these in Gray Television because for us it's about the local news. And having more of these sensors out there are very important to us. And we still back these things up with the larger lens camera for those sorts of things, but they're very impressed with the platform.
That's great. I just wanted to thank you both for joining us today. Appreciate all the insight and appreciate you taking time with your busy schedules. Thank you very much, gentlemen. So asset management of a different sort is also happening here in another part of Sony. Jim, I didn't pay him for this transition. Sony's Media Cloud service was streamlined the creative process from any location in the world. Here to tell you a bit more is Sony's Naomi Clemmer.
Thank you, Teresa, and thank you, Jim. Much appreciated. Sony's presence in the broadcast and production space spans the lens to the living room, so it shouldn't be a surprise to you that Sony's next strategic initiative complements our existing hardware and software, but on the cloud. Last week, we announced the launch of Sony's Media Cloud Services, which offers a virtual workspace uniquely designed by creative professionals for creative professionals. Leveraging our industry as a studio, a TV production company, a games developer, and a software and hardware manufacturer enables us to bring all that experience together in the cloud to deliver high-end functionality and a production-like experience that the entire media community can use through a browser-based device. Now, I know that the cloud is going to be a game changer for this industry. It will be in terms of collaboration, workflows, efficiency, and of course in terms of creativity. Our development has been rooted in solving real challenges and leveraging our existing know-how, and it's sure to offer a disruptive new choice about how things can be done. And that's why we've developed C. We set out to create a robust, scalable, media-focused platform that could handle numerous large files, such as 4K, at a level of security that meets the needs of this industry. In a way, the core of our platform meets a really basic need to have somewhere to securely put rich media, valuable assets, and content on a scale generated by high-end video productions, where it can easily be found, viewed, and shared with other authorized people, all on a browser, from anywhere in the world. So that's the heart of what we've created, and it's a need that I hear expressed in this industry every single day. And then on top of that kind of core, we've added tools that leverage our video processing know-how within the cloud to automate and simplify many of the time-consuming tasks of content preparation. And so this has enabled us to offer the industry and our customers the first of its kind mastering functionality in the cloud that gives content owners the ability to scale infrastructure and teams as needed without having expensive facilities and equipment to get the job done. So, what makes us so special? Well, there's a few things. One of the reasons is that we were born and raised in this industry. Our team has experienced the frontline highs and lows of content creation, and we've developed something that solves real problems. Also, the ability to solve these problems has led us to working with several of the industry's studios and TV companies. We're thrilled to be working with Sony Pictures, obviously, but I'm also happy to announce that we're working with NBC Universal, as well as with other leading broadcasters and content creators around the globe. And having such a diverse range of customers is going to help us to broaden our offering. We've also built our solution to be strong, to handle the heaviest, most sensitive, and incredibly large amounts of content. We are ready for every file that Alex cameras can throw at us, and working in and with Hollywood, it means that content security is woven into our DNA. We have to ensure that we keep every piece of content safe. And extraordinary customer service is also core to our success. So while our customers can do everything for themselves, we'll be ready with high-touch customer service to help them at every turn. And then another thing that I think is unique about this is that we're very innovative. We're constantly thinking. Our team is absolutely full of ideas. I just can't hold them back. We've deliberately set ourselves up separately to be as close to a startup as is possible inside a large corporation, and we're enjoying the benefits of both those worlds. So we can deliver something new, dynamic, and agile, but with the level of robustness, support, and sustainability that you would expect from a big company like Sony. And our team demonstrates this startup mentality every day. Have a world-class team of engineers who are relishing overcoming any engineering challenges to make sure we deliver a rich production experience on the cloud. They're filled with excitement at the possibilities of creating deep, intuitive connections between Sony's hardware and the cloud. I have product architects who dream of offering a rich virtual workspace that gives creative individuals access to technical capabilities that they just could not have afforded before. We've even had development contests break out in the team. Who has the best film that's been created only using C? Who can create the best first user experience? It's frankly incredibly exciting to be part of this team. And then as part of the bigger Sony, we enjoy the most extraordinary global access to the creative community. And we plan to leverage those relationships to evolve our service in tune with the key issues facing creatives across the industry. This has been built by Sony Pictures' best movie and television professionals, and it's been incubated alongside hardware and technology experts. We've got the opportunity to harness the capabilities within Professional Solutions Group, from camcorders through media backbone, all the way to archiving, and we can enrich those with a cloud ecosystem. So C does go beyond simply delivering innovative technology. It brings the total power of Sony into the cloud. So, our ambitions are big. We have a lot of work ahead of us to unleash the full potential of what we've started here. We will grow and evolve this platform in response to the needs of the marketplace so that we can offer tools that work for big companies and for creative individuals. So we do plan to radically change the way that creative professionals collaborate. So this is just the beginning. Please wait and see. Thank you.
Thanks, Naomi. With the cloud, the sky literally is the limit for achieving global production without boundaries. But Sony has always been about options. So whether you prefer to store content in the cloud or on physical media, Sony delivers the choice. That's why we developed Optical Disc Archive, based on Sony's professional disc media used in our XDCAM technology. Each ODA cartridge contains 12 optical discs for a maximum capacity of 1.5 terabytes of storage, or 48 hours of XDCAM HD 422 content. It offers random access speeds at a fraction of a second. The cartridge protects the disc from dust and fingerprints, so archival life is rated at 50 years. Not only does this product work for Sony products, you can store any format on this media, even P2. Everyone's storage needs are different, so ODA comes in several options to choose from. We have an entry-level system for camera owners and operators, an option for small work groups, and a 30-slot library for more demanding environments. Sony is also showcasing a prototype drive that will double the read and write speeds of current products and expand libraries for a volume of users. There is even XD Archive, an all-in-one CMS and archive system with online streaming proxy for up to 85,000 hours of HD. Optical Disc Archive holds tremendous promise as a low-cost, secure, fast-access storage and long-term media archive system. Sony is announcing a strategic partnership with Dillette Digital Media Systems to expand our ODA solutions. Dillette has vast experience in MAM applications and an extensive worldwide customer base in video production and broadcasting. Sony and Dillette will collaborate on solution sales, systems integration, delivery, and contract services to give customers more efficiency. Joining us here today from Dillette are David Lassery and Stefan Schalen. Could you please stand? Thank you for taking time today, gentlemen. So now that we've talked about acquiring, editing, and managing top-end content, how do you evaluate it? On Sony OLED monitors, that's how. High-quality reference-grade OLED monitors are more important now than ever before, especially when working with 4K content. At this level of production, color accuracy, reproduction, critical. And nothing is better for the job than Sony OLED. That's why more than 20,000 Sony OLEDs are in use worldwide today. At NAB, we're highlighting our A-Series TriMaster EL series. They have an improved panel for industry-leading viewing angle, which reproduces color shift by half compared to previous models. These new monitors join the current lineup of Sony OLEDs, which are used for editing, dailies, special effects, critical viewing, and cinematic production. Also in our exhibit on the show floor are two prototype 4K OLED monitors to support the 4K production. You need to see it to appreciate it, so be sure to stop by the exhibit and check them out. So while products are always important to our customers at Sony, offering a total solution, critical. Often serving as a prime contractor, Sony can provide a total solution with a single point of contact. Here's a quick rundown of some of our recent solutions work. Sony completed control rooms for the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Dodgers. And in the coming year, we're going to tackle the San Francisco 49ers with their new stadium. We've developed an affordable production package for Webster Bank Arena. And here, right here at the Mirage, you have to be sure to take a look at the very first 4K sportsbook when you go to place your bet on tomorrow night's game. One of our longest running solutions projects is with NBC Sports for the winter and summer games. Sony has worked with NBC since Sydney back in 1998. For the recent London games, we provided equipment, integration, and engineering support. We also developed a new workflow platform based on Media Backbone to support content delivery to the web and mobile devices. And we're proud to announce we're expanding our relationship with NBC to include the Winter Games in Sochi. But our work does not stop there. It's extending to NBC with a variety of year-round projects. We were the prime integrator for NBC Sports' new headquarters in Stamford, an 850,000 square foot facility that now houses NBC Sports operations under one roof. Let's hear from Dave Mazza of NBC.
Well, designing this facility at the speed and under the pressure we were under to do it, because it was during the run-up to the London Games, was really a collaborative effort between the NBC guys, the Sony guys, and the DSI group. And it really took the collective expertise of all three of those groups to do it as fast as we did it, and I think as well as we did it. The exciting part for us, one, is to be all under the same roof, which we are during the Olympics as a company, but that's only for 17 days every 2 years. A lot of the work that we do during the games or in the run-up to the games to develop equipment and workflows, just about the time you get it working like a top, opening ceremonies, or hopefully not too long after opening, you turn it off and you're done. So for the first time, we can take a lot of those things that we've developed for the games and move them and use them every day and perfect them even further. We built for the future, and we built a lot of very sophisticated workflows in to be able to do in the future, but we're also able to handle the traditional workflows that people knew and love. As fast as we were moving, if there were an equipment or a design issue that was going to need a slight tweak or oversight from Sony, even if the factory would need to make an adjustment for us, we knew that Sony was going to come through with that. So yeah, there was a comfort factor in knowing that the breadth of Sony was behind the project.
Of course, traditional shoulder mount acquisition is also alive and well today. So you'll see new camcorders, decks, and more at our exhibit. Sony is also enhancing our core AV technologies to keep them relevant in today's IP world. Our new video network system is a great example of an AV IP marriage. Now shipping, it's perfect for transferring multiple HD images, audio and control signals over a single network cable with extremely low latency. European broadcasters such as ITN in the UK and TV2 in Norway are already using it with great success. A new feature is the IP Live Manager to deliver central and simultaneous control over several systems. Our family of HD XD-Cam 422 camcorders also continues to grow at the show. The newest entry, the PMW 400. Live 2D HD production remains strong, so now we're also opening up our series of cameras for HDC line, which set the standard for the most major primetime sports and entertainment events. This year we're announcing a new addition to this HDC family, the HDC 2530. This flexible camera gives producers more stable transmissions over longer distances, free from limitations at event venues. And I'm sure you all have smartphones out there and tablets with you, and you're used to that touchscreen type of interface. That's the exact concept behind our new Anycast Touch. This ultra-portable system combines the familiar touchscreen interface in common mobile devices today with full-scale AV performance in an easy-to-use, all-in-one live production system. Of course, without great audio, even the best possibly quality video has no impact at all. Artists and engineers know that to be true to their music and their voice, Sony is the sound choice. Our professional line of headphones and wireless mics are in studios and on tour around the world, helping engineers and artists get that right sound. All of the products I just unveiled are designed to work today, but at Sony, we never stop thinking about the future. Here to tell you more, I'd like to bring back Mr. Alex Shapiro.
Thank you, Teresa. After hearing our news today, I hope everyone understands that for Sony, Beyond Definition is much more than a show theme or a tagline. It's a statement about our commitment to innovation, and so is our next surprise. We've never done this before. You're not going to see this on the show floor, but we wanted to share our vision for the future with the media. So to help me, please welcome Toshio Nishi of Sony Corporation's Professional Solutions Group.
Thank you, Alex. Okay, Sony always aims to redefine product development and create innovative solutions that deliver value and efficiency and go beyond definition. Today I'm proud to show you the embodiment of Sony's future development. We are constantly brainstorming new designs of future camera systems for motion picture professionals. We are studying the marriage of 4K motion picture and high-resolution still image capture that was not compromised their needs. We will also invest in developing a variety of new 4K lenses, specifically keeping motion picture professionals in mind. This said, we will take an open lens mount strategy that is compatible with the glass commonly used today. As always, the customer's needs come first. Sony is the world's largest manufacturer of image sensor, but our expertise in professional camera system design is not limited to just digital imaging technology. We have decades of experience developing professional audio equipment, efficient codecs, flash memory, battery systems, and more. Sony will continue to invest in these areas. We are committed to enhancing total camera solutions, which consist of lenses, camera heads, and overall content creation workflow all the way to the archive. As Alex said, these will not be on the show floor, and we cannot share many details today. Sony will listen to the industry and use their input to realize future products and solutions. Our President and CEO Kazu Hirai has challenged the entire company to be moved. Our Professional Solutions Group is making it happen beyond definition. Working together, we will continue driving our industry forward. Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it. That's our NAB story for 2013. I invite all of you to stop by the exhibit over the next 4 days to see our technologies up close. But I also want to leave you with one final example of our 4K cameras in action. Scheduled for release in June from Sony Pictures and Overbrook Entertainment, After Earth was directed by M. Night Shyamalan and shot with Sony's f/65 camera. Please enjoy.